I am Kai Smith. I am a certified trichologist. I am also an author. I am very, very passionate about helping women uncover the unknown factors about their hair loss, as well as helping my colleagues identify hair loss behind the chair. Today, we are talking about some essential vitamins that could support thyroid health. And the reason why I wanted to bring this topic to you guys today is because I've been noticing that a lot of women that I support in my hair loss community that work with me one-on-one in uncovering the root cause of their hair loss, they are having some thyroid dysfunction that is going undiagnosed, overlooked by their physicians. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have an autoimmune disease like Hashimoto's or Graves' disease or anything like that. It just may mean that you have a thyroid dysfunction where there are some other body systems that are off. Maybe stress could be inducing thyroid dysfunction. There are a host of things that work together to make the thyroid flow properly and function properly, because it is that one thing that regulates the entire endocrine system, which is where the majority of our hormones are. So we want to make sure that that thing is operating correctly. And so today specifically, I am going to be speaking to you about hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism is when you have an underactive thyroid. Okay, so we're going to be talking about hypothyroidism today. The broadcast is about supporting your thyroid using vitamins. And so the reason why vitamins are essential, because the body produces certain vitamins. And then there are certain vitamins that are non-essential that the body does not produce. So when we're talking about vitamins, we're talking about things that the body produces that the body needs. And those things that the body does not produce, you typically will get them organically through your foods. If you are not eating a diverse diet, a balanced diet, these are things that you will not pick up through your food. Therefore, you will supplement them because these are things that your body needs, okay? And so I would rather personally take something that my body normally makes or that my body cannot make, but it requires I supplement it versus taking a prescription that is basically tainting my body with chemicals that the body does not even recognize. These supplements that you take, your body recognizes them because your body needs them in order to produce, in order for mitosis to take place, for protein synthesis to take place, to have enough mitochondria production for the energy to take place in the body. So this is why it's important that you take vitamins or that you eat a very diverse diet so that your body can get all the vitamins that it requires in order to produce healthy cells, to promote a healthy body. Okay, so approximately 5% of Americans, mostly women, suffer with some type of hypothyroidism. And once again, hypothyroidism is an underactive thyroid. And statistics says that approximately 5% of Americans, mostly women, suffer with some type of thyroid issue, hypothyroidism, right? We also have hyperthyroidism, but today we're talking about hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid. And so some of those symptoms may be dry, brittle hair or brittle nails, some constipation, loss of your taste buds. This is what we're talking about for hypothyroidism. Cold hands and feet, which is an intolerance or an intolerance for coldness. Brain fog, you may feel fatigue, there may be weight gain because the thyroid balances out and regulates your metabolism, okay? And then we also have a low libido. How many of us are so fatigued and so tired that we don't even have the desire to have sex? And it's not that we're not sexually attracted to our mate, we just don't have the desire because we're tired. We want to do it, but we don't have the desire to do it. Menstrual irregularities, depression, and the list goes on, but that's just to name some of the things that you may feel with hypothyroidism. And some of the symptoms are the same with hyperthyroidism. Not all of them, but some of them are. And so when you're dealing with hypothyroidism, it is when your body is not secreting enough thyroid hormone. And so today we're going to talk about some vitamins that will help you. Now, will taking these vitamins cure a thyroid disease or thyroid dysfunction alone? No, that is not what I'm saying. I am not saying at all that if you take these vitamins that I am listing, that this will be a cure to your thyroid dysfunction or disease, autoimmune disease. This will help you. However, you still need to be under a physician's care to manage your thyroid hormones, okay? So I've written all of this down, so I will be looking away. So excuse me because I can't remember verbatim everything. So the first one is tyrosine. It's tyrosine. And once again, we're talking about hypothyroidism. So tyrosine is going to help the body because iodine is secreted in the body, and iodine is only used for your thyroid production, your thyroid hormone production. And so the tyrosine is going to help your iodine production. So without the iodine and the tyrosine combining, being mixed together, you cannot produce T3, which is one of your thyroid hormones. So without iodine and tyrosine, the body cannot produce T3, which is a thyroid hormone. And the T3 is known as triiodylthyronine. Triiodylthyronine. Very hard to pronounce, but triiodylthyronine is your T3 hormone. If it's not producing enough T3, it's possible your tyrosine is low. If your body, because the body is going to be prompted by the pituitary gland in the brain to secrete and produce TSH, which is an acronym known as thyroid stimulating hormone. So the pituitary gland in the brain is going to be triggered to produce thyroid stimulating hormone, which then in turn tells the body how much thyroid hormone to secrete. So if your tyrosine is low, there's a possibility that there's some hypothyroidism going on because your tyrosine is low. Therefore, you won't have enough T3 in your bloodstream because you need tyrosine mixed with the iodine that the body is naturally secreting combined together to produce your T3. Okay, so this is why tyrosine, supplementing tyrosine or eating a lot of foods that contain tyrosine will help you. You can also take B vitamins for your hypothyroidism because a lack of B12 can affect the way your thyroid regulates, right? Because when your thyroid hormone is low, it basically inhibits you from absorbing vitamin B12. Okay, so you want to make sure that your B vitamins are intact because it can prevent you from absorbing the B12. Now, B12 is good for, and this is what your B12 is for. You're responsible for your red blood cells and its production, your DNA synthesis, protein conversion, your neurological function, and your fatty acid synthesis. So if your thyroid hormone is low, it can cause you not to be able to absorb the B12 efficiently, okay? So we've talked about tyrosine and we've talked about B12 so far with hypothyroidism. The next one is vitamin A. Vitamin A helps to convert your cholesterol into your thyroid protective hormones to enable use of your thyroid hormone. So your T3 is going to convert the cholesterol into your into your thyroid protective hormone. So there are hormones in the body that protect the thyroid hormones. Okay, so your vitamin A is going to assist with that. Okay, so it's going to convert your cholesterol into thyroid protective hormones, okay, to enable use of your thyroid hormone. Okay, so all of these things go together, they function together. So we know we need tyrosine, B vitamins, and vitamin A, right? Your next one, selenium. Selenium helps protect your thyroid by removing thyroid harming substances and supports normal thyroid function. We talked about earlier with the tyrosine and the iodine being mixed together to create the T3. So now, what selenium does is it protects the thyroid, because what it's doing is it helps to synthesize iodine-based enzymes. So, enzymes used to create the iodine. It protects and synthesizes the enzymes for the iodine. Okay? So, your selenium helps protect the thyroid by removing thyroid-harming substances and supports normal thyroid function. And the iodine-based enzymes basically are going to help with the production of your enzymes. And your thyroid can't function properly without it. So with that, we want to make sure we're doing tyrosine, B vitamins, vitamin A, selenium, right? So now we're going to go to zinc. Now, zinc is required for production of your T4, which is your thyroxine. Okay? So, T3 fires up the mitochondria. Mitochondria is energy. So, it fires up the energy. The T3 fires up the energy that's required for your thyroid receptors. Your thyroid receptors in your cells. Your thyroid receptors is what's going to help your thyroid hormone bind. Okay, so that they could be actively used. And it won't work properly if your zinc is deficient. Okay, so it won't work properly if your zinc is deficient. So zinc is required for production of T4. We have T3 and T4 for thyroid hormones, and your zinc is required for T4. Okay, now the next one that we're going to talk about is essential fatty acids, which is also known as EFA. You might hear it referred to as EFA, which is your fish oils, right? They're also antioxidants, anti-inflammatories. They work for heart health, all sorts of different things, right? But in this case, it was a study done that says, because when you have hypothyroidism, some type of autoimmune hypothyroidism, or just a thyroid dysfunction where your thyroid is sluggish, it causes your metabolism to slow down, and it causes your body not to be able to break down things as fast when you're eating them. So the essential fatty acids, based on some studies, has been known to help increase the metabolism by burning fat cells. And so what happens is it says it may help by boosting thyroid hormones within your liver cells, because the thyroid and the liver are connected. So basically, the fish oil may help burn fat by boosting thyroid hormones within your liver cells to burn fat. And so basically, your T3 and T4 determine how efficiently your body metabolizes your carbs, your proteins, and your fats. So your body produces T4 and it converts it to T3, which is the active form. So basically, your body is going to produce the T4. Once the pituitary triggers the thyroid to produce thyroid stimulating hormone, then the thyroid stimulating hormone is going to say how much of the T4 is produced. And then the body in turn has to convert that T4 into a usable form, which is T3, that the body can actually is active and the body can use. Okay? So we have tyrosine, we have B vitamins, we have vitamin A, selenium, zinc, and essential fatty acids. So those are 6 vitamins that can help support thyroid function. If you are working with someone, an endocrinologist or a naturopathic doctor, you can consult with them to talk to them about these 6 vitamins that I just told you about, to help your body get into sync, to be able to better absorb your thyroid hormone so that you can regulate your thyroid. Okay, so I hope that this information was helpful to you guys. I surely appreciate you joining in with me today, and until we meet next time, you guys be good to yourselves. Good night.